Princess Jennifer of the Voltoran Empire had grown up watching entire civilizations bow. She had seen ancient species, beings who had mastered space before humanity had discovered fire, kneel before her father's throne to beg for trade concessions. She had watched the fearsome Krier War, clans lower their razor crests in ritual submission. 17 sectors fell under the Empire's unquestioned authority, and Jennifer had never known a universe where that dominance was challenged. So when the human delegation arrived at the Imperial Station with a proposal for cultural exchange, she found the idea mildly entertaining. Humans were newcomers, barely 3 generations removed from first contact, soft-bodied, fragile, slow to reproduce, at least according to the intelligence briefings. Their only notable trait was an irritating fixation on diplomacy. The ambassador arrived with a single aide, a young human male named Adam. No insignia, no ornamentation, perhaps 20 standard years old, brown hair, brown eyes, entirely forgettable. He stood behind the ambassador throughout the presentation, silent, recording notes on a rudimentary data pad. An apprentice diplomat. Jennifer murmured to her aide, Kresh. How charming. They send children to learn statecraft. Kresh's antenna twitched with mild amusement. Humans mature slowly, Your Highness. He may be older than he appears. The negotiations dragged on. The humans wanted access to the neutral zone, a stretch of space sealed off by imperial decree following the consumption event 3 cycles earlier. Something had emerged from that region, something that had intercepted and devoured an entire colony vessel. 40,000 lives vanished in under 3 hours. No distress call, no debris, only silence. The neutral zone is forbidden, Jennifer said flatly. Even to us, we do not gamble with our people. The human ambassador inclined his head. We understand the danger, Princess, but humanity possesses certain capabilities that may prove useful. Jennifer reclined against her throne. Capabilities, she echoed. You have traveled the stars for barely a century. What could you possibly offer an empire with 10,000 years of exploration? That was when the apprentice looked up. Adam raised his eyes from the data pad and met hers. A chill crept down Jennifer's spine. Those were not the eyes of a clerk, not of a student. They were old, distant, measuring. We're very good at surviving things that want to kill us, Adam said quietly. The ambassador's smile tightened. Damn, but Jennifer lifted one hand. No, continue. Adam set the data pad aside. Earth is a death world, Your Highness, he said evenly. Why evolved alongside predators that still hunt us? Venoms that stop hearts in seconds. Carnivores that outweigh us 3 to 1. Microorganisms that consume us from the inside. He paused. We survived ice ages, supervolcanoes, plagues. We survived weapons capable of erasing cities. His gaze never wavered. We didn't reach the stars because we're stronger or smarter. We reached them because we're too stubborn to die. Kresh's antenna flattened, an involuntary signal of unease. Bold words, Jennifer said coolly, from an apprentice. He's not an apprentice. The new voice came from the doorway. Commander Thex of the Krexar battle fleet stood there, massive frame blotting out the corridor light. 8 feet of scaled muscle, scarred armor, and controlled violence. Thex had personally led the purge of 3 rebellion systems. He was staring at Adam. Commander, Jennifer asked. Thex's throat sacs pulsed rapidly, a Krexar sign of fear. That human, he said hoarsely. I know him. The room seemed to grow colder. He was on Talus 4. Silence slammed into the chamber. Talus 4 had been a black site, classified military research on the edge of Imperial space. It had gone dark 6 months earlier. Thex and his battalion had been dispatched to investigate. There were things there. Thex continued. Biological weapons, specimens recovered from dead worlds. The researchers lost containment. He swallowed. 40 of my warriors entered that station. His eyes never left Adam. I was the only one who came out. Jennifer rose slowly. Explain now. Adam's expression did not change. I was consulting, he said. Your scientists awakened something they didn't understand. Something that didn't die when shot, or burned, or exposed to vacuum. Thex's voice dropped, reverent despite himself. He walked into the dark. My soldiers were dying around us. Thex continued. The finest warriors in the Empire, torn apart by things faster than our targeting systems. Adam had been unarmed. And the creatures, Thex said, voice shaking, moved away from him, like prey sensing a greater predator. Jennifer turned sharply to the ambassador. You brought a weapon onto my station. No, the ambassador replied gently. We brought a specialist. He met her gaze. One of our Apex response assets. We don't deploy them often, and we don't advertise their existence. But when something in the dark needs to be handled, we send people like Adam. Jennifer stared at the human. He's one man. Fear is universal, Adam said calmly. Every predator understands when it's outmatched. He stepped forward. Humans learned that truth over hundreds of thousands of years. We learned to hunt the hunters, to become the thing even apex predators avoid. His eyes locked with hers. Whatever's in the neutral zone operates on the same ancient logic. And if it's as dangerous as you believe, you need someone who speaks that language. The chamber was silent. At last, Princess Jennifer spoke. The Voltoran Empire grants your request. You will have access to the neutral zone. She inclined her head to Adam. And I retract my earlier assessment. Adam smiled faintly, tired, knowing. No offense taken, Your Highness. We prefer being underestimated. It makes the work simpler. As the humans departed, Kresh leaned close. Do you believe he can face what's waiting out there? Jennifer watched Adam's retreating figure. Those ancient, patient eyes burned into her memory. I'm not concerned about him, she said softly. I'm concerned about whatever has to face him.